Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, today we're going to be taking a look at early details of Dani Moonstar's buff. Now, few things to keep in mind. Number one, I am not in CCP, so I can only go off information that the CCP has provided to us already on YouTube. Number two, that also means that I cannot playtest the character. Number three, these are preliminary buff details, so just like with Sandman, from what we saw, these buffs can get adjusted, as in they can be tuned up or they can be tuned down by the time we actually receive these changes in the game. Needless to say, Dani Moonstar needs all the help she can get. Realistically, Dani Moonstar is one of the two worst champions in the game. In fact, 2023 was a very solid year of champions, and there are two that are significantly below others. Dani Moonstar and this Gladiator. Two of the worst champions released this year, without a doubt. With virtually no real relevance anywhere. Obviously, there will be some people who are diehard enthusiasts of Dani Moonstar and that are very skilled and will get decent results out of her, but for 99.9% of the MCOC community, Dani Moonstar is and should be relevant, because anything she does can be done much better by other champions and easier and straightforward and less finicky, and you know, those champions typically also do more. So, Dani Moonstar buff in particular, a lot of people were hoping for something decent. After seeing what is the proposed change to Dani, it makes me question whether we need a balance program at all and what's the point of it. In addition, it also leads me to be extremely fearful for Gladiator, because at the moment everybody is hoping that Gladiator is going to get a proper tune-up. If Dani Moonstar is to be any indicator for that, Gladiator is still going to suck just as much as he sucked before. Right, but I have held you guys long enough. Let's take a look at the proposed changes for Dani Moonstar's buff. Are you ready for it? It's gonna be a lot to take in. And when I say a lot to take in, I mean the fact that there are basically no changes aside from like one matchup. Right. So currently, Dani Moonstar's kit changed in two ways. Number one, they added 2 seconds to her slow duration. Okay? 2 fucking seconds. Somebody's getting paid for this. And so they added 2 seconds to her slow duration. And the second thing that I changed, against skilled champions specifically, Neuroshocks trigger at the start of the special attack. Now this makes difference realistically only in one matchup, and that's Nick Fury. They have effectively fixed the Nick Fury matchup. Unless Nick Fury manages to throw a level 1, and then you're still screwed because Nick Fury can still bypass miss. But ultimately, if you play properly and, you know, push Nick Fury to level 2 and the AI doesn't think of activating level 1, she will bypass the second life. That is the, you know, ultimate change then. She will bypass Nick Fury's second life if she's awakened and high sig, and it's going to be much, much, much easier to pull off. That change is good. It's needed, for sure. You know what else is needed? A hell of a lot more. I don't know. I don't know. What am I supposed to say? Like, looking at these changes. And just like with, you know, it's just like, what's the point? Like, what? There will not. I don't think there will be a single player who didn't play Dani before and will start playing her now because of this buff. Somebody like Dani before the buff, they will continue playing, and you know, she's going to be marginally better. She's going to have one better matchup, basically. I don't think anybody will effectively notice this 2 second increase duration to the slow. I think it needed to be 10-15 second duration increase to slow and to virtually everything, including Neuroshock arrows. I think there should have been additional ability that lets her apply Neuroshock arrows, like a tiny Neuroshock arrow on her basic hit or something. I think there's definitely way more that needs and should be done to the champion from saving her from being like awful. Never judge a buff before you get the chance to play it and all that other stuff, of course. But there's going to be a legitimate question to you guys. Is there a single one of you, one, who didn't rank up Dani before, didn't think much of Dani before, looks at these buff details and thinks, yeah, fair, I'm going to rank up Dani now? Anyone? I don't think so. Which again genuinely leads me to believe is like, what's the point of this? Like, just don't do anything. Don't waste anybody's time. If this is the extent that the balance program works for, don't. A moment of silence. Because I'm genuinely running out of things to say. It's like, Dani Moonstar could be a cool character, for sure. Let's take a look at her, you know. She could do cool things. She has Neuroshock, which is rare, which can bypass, like, Miss, except that the fact that Neuroshock can bypass Miss is completely irrelevant because she doesn't have it up most of the time. She has a very powerful slow on her level 1, which, again, forces her to forego her main damage rotation. She has a great damage potential if she crits, and if AI cooperates with you, and if, you know, you make it in time and forego her utility on slow. But even with all those things fixed, you know, let's say Neuroshock durations increase drastically to a point where you can use her as a miss counter. Her slow duration increased drastically to a point where, you know, you can go for level 1, level 2, and you still have, you know, slow up. If her damage would be made less reliant on Gambit or RNG, even then, she wouldn't be at the top. With all those massive changes to her, she'd still be like a solid good mutant at best. So where's the problem? Like, where's the holdup? If this buff goes live the way it is, nothing will change. She will not move a single spot in the mutant ranking. There will not be a single player who picks and starts playing Dani and ranks her up because of this buff. So the question is, if Kabam buffs a champion and nobody gives a shit, did the buff happen? But if nobody cares, not a single person has changed their mind about the champion, did the buff happen? Was it worth it? Was it worth for a human being to sit down and write these things and suggest and test it and stuff like that? That, at the moment, a genuine question. This, 2 points, Dani Moonstar. Like, Will Vision got like 7 plan points. And again, I don't think Will Vision's, you know, tune-up was some massive success. I think it was solid. I think it was at least, you know, a solid effort in making the champion more viable, extending her matchups, and so on and so forth. Made better. Not amazing, but better against Nick Fury, because again, you still need to make sure he never throws that level 1 to bypass that miss. That's 1, so she has like 1 matchup she does better, and 2 seconds on slow. Wow. 2 seconds on slow. God, I wish I had that job. It's like, God, I wish I had that job. It's like, eh. Like, yeah, a champion sucks. Just like increase the duration by 2 seconds and fine, done. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't expecting to all of a sudden love Dani after the buff. I was not expecting there to be like a massive change or a full rework to her abilities. But I was not expecting it to be this bad and this little. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about